I've written books with a number of celebrities. Each experience was special, and yet I never enjoyed working with anyone as much as I enjoyed working with Tim. He is a unique combination of a genuinely funny man and a real old-fashioned gentleman, at once bold as brass and at the same time disarmingly humble. There isn't a sanctimonious bone among all his funny ones. He never boasts about his accomplishments, and that's precisely why I'm using this preface to say things about him, things the reader should know, that he'd never say about himself. So here goes. At our first meeting in Los Angeles, Tim came to my hotel. The front desk called to say he was on his way up. I went into the hallway to wait for him. The elevator was at the opposite end of the corridor. In the middle of the hallway, a man wearing headphones was vacuuming. Tim stepped out of the elevator at the same moment the cleaning man left the vacuum running in the center of the hallway and turned to dust a side table. Tim started down the corridor. He reached the upright vacuum and, without breaking stride, grabbed the handle with one hand and, waving to me with the other, called out, "I'll be right there, just have to finish my work." He put his head down and began to vacuum. The cleaning man, oblivious to what was happening, thanks to his headphones, finished dusting and turned around to recover his vacuum, only to discover Tim pushing it around. For a moment, the man looked befuddled. Then he got it. He smiled and gingerly tapped Tim on the shoulder. Immediately, Tim dropped the vacuum and threw himself against the wall with his arms spread above his head, waiting to be frisked. That's when I learned that Tim Conway seizes any opportunity to amuse. Moreover, he is as delighted to make one or two people laugh as he is to entertain huge audiences. Shenanigans aside, Tim is a really grounded person. For one thing, he's had the same friends for decades. Although their names read like a who's who of Emmy and Oscar winners, they, like Tim, are down-to-earth people leading normal lives in the abnormal world of show business. And here's another Hollywood anomaly. Tim's second marriage to Charlene Beatty has been going strong for nearly 3 decades. It's a match made in heaven. But it took Tim 1 divorce and Charlene 2 to find that out. They play off each other brilliantly. If you ask Tim what Charlene's father did for a living, he'll say he was a bookie. Ask Charlene the question, and she'll tell you her father was a trumpet player who performed with big bands until they went out of fashion. He still had to earn a living, and the only other thing he knew was betting the horses. "My father was a musician for most of his life," says Charlene with a laugh, "but my husband calls him a bookie because it sounds funnier." Charlene and Tim Conway are their own reality show, with Charlene providing the reality. She's his leveler, the straight man who keeps him honest. Tim knows what a difference Charlene has made in his life and finds ample opportunities to acknowledge it. While receiving one of his many awards, Tim stood at the podium and thanked everyone for the honor. "I wouldn't be standing in front of you right now," he said, "if it weren't for the way my wife looks out for me. She takes charge of everything, including my diet. She's been feeding me so much fiber, I'm now passing wicker furniture." Tim's fundamentally a cheerful person, yet he has a reflective side. A quiet wisdom informs his art and his life. The right comic conditions, however, will always conquer any guardedness, and he becomes totally playful. He's a combination clown and comic. Generally speaking, comedians pursue one tradition or the other. Tim has the funny bone to do slapstick and the wit to do stand-up. It's a rare gift. Funny has become an archaic word. It's been replaced by edgy.